Welcome to the Coach Mike Magistrelli Show. I'm your host, Logan Howell, and with me today is Coach Magistrelli. Coach, thanks for being here today.
Oh, you bet, Logan.
So first question I have here for you, can I get a couple injury updates onto Knowledge Hall, Cade Gorsney, and Justin Wright? Two were injured before the game and one injured in the game?
Yeah, obviously, they're all injury situations. To Knowledge, injured kind of like an SC joint, difficult injury for him early in the football game. Unfortunately for him, it's probably something that's going to keep him out for a little bit here. It's hard to protect that. A sprained ankle, you can put tape on and tape it up and try and be able to go. So he'll probably be out. Cade Gorsney, similar situation. His is a broken toe. If I'm not mistaken, he broke it the first play against Trinity, played the rest of the game with it. So it tells you everything you need to know about Cade and his toughness. But unfortunately, he's been in a boot, a walking boot, and unable to go. And then you mentioned Justin and another tough situation for Justin. He had broke his clavicle early in the season, and unfortunately for him, was able to come back, play this past weekend for the first time since week 2 or whatever it's been. And unfortunately for him, he caught a pass and made a nice run after the catch, and then was tackled and re-broke it. So a tough situation for Justin, and you feel for him certainly.
Yeah, and as we get into some highlights here, can you kind of explain how big of a hurdle it is to try to replace those three guys?
Well, it goes beyond those three. Unfortunately, injuries is part of the game of football. You're going to have some of those, and you try and do the best you can, whether it's lifting weights and preparing yourself, trying to limit yourself and practice what you're doing and those type of things to keep guys as healthy as possible. But unfortunately, you're not going to be able to avoid all those injuries, and you add a year with COVID and different fluke things that come into play from time to time, as well as non-football injuries. So it really can take a toll.
Yeah, and as we get into this game here, we're going to start with the quarterback spot. Sam Tumulty, he had a great game on the ground. What challenges did he present to you guys defensively?
Well, obviously he's extremely athletic. They do a number of different things to allow him to carry the football. Some of it by design, some of it broken plays. He's certainly very elusive, athletic. He's a tough kid for his size. Runs extremely hard, difficult to bring down, especially one-on-one. And he was certainly a handful Saturday.
Yeah, and it seemed like, too, he was able to use his arm to make some big plays, especially on third down. What did you think of his ability through the air in this game, too?
Yeah, he did a great job being a dual threat. Obviously has some big receiving targets there to be able to throw to, and thought he did a good job of moving the chains on third down, making some big throws that way, because again, he's not just a runner. You see him throw there to the flat there to not mistaken, Johnson, I believe was his name, an outstanding receiver. Here he is again, number 22. They did a good job of finding different ways to get him the football, and those two proved to be quite a tandem.
Yeah, and just a couple of plays ago, we saw a dropped catch in the end zone by Sherrod on that play. Is that a play you wish you kind of had back? Could have been a big momentum shift in the game?
Yeah, it certainly was. They came out, that St. Francis did on offense and went for it on fourth down. We got a big defensive stop there on fourth down to give us good field position. And, unfortunately for us, it came to a fourth down on our end, and threw the ball to Sherrod over the top, and looked like for a second Sherrod was able to make the play, and a difficult catch in traffic for a touchdown, and the ball kind of squirted out there at the very end. And I'm sure that's one that Sherrod would love to have back and have another opportunity at, because he's a talented wide receiver and usually makes that play, and so that was certainly kind of a big start to the game. Would have been nice to cash that one in and go up 7-0 and have some momentum right off the bat.
Yeah, and it seemed like in this game as well, the Saints use a lot of motion with their slot receivers and their backs in this game. Was that a look that you expected coming into this game?
Yeah, it's something they've done throughout the year, and it's a way to, again, kind of set up the quarterback run. They do a lot with motion and occasionally hand it to the motion guy, kind of jetting around the end, and you certainly have to honor that and defend that. And then, off that, they'll fake that and then give the ball to the tailback, or fake it and then let the quarterback run. So it's kind of a scheme that they've run throughout the year, and they do it quite well.
Yeah, we just saw a turnover there by the Bees, and now it was a kind of a slow day for the offense and Tom Casey. What did you think of his play, and how does it compound with the last couple of games that he's had?
Yeah, I tell you what, it was not a great day offensively for us. I do give St. Francis some credit. I thought they played very well defensively. It wasn't all Tom. There's a couple plays. The interception you saw a second ago when he was under a lot of heat and getting hit as he threw and some of those type of things. And I'm sure like any game, we talk about Sherrod and just not quite able to make the catch earlier. There's some throws that I'm sure Tom would like to have had back as well. He's usually a very accurate quarterback and missed on a couple throws here or there, but he's a talented kid. He's got a bright future, and he's a very good quarterback.
Yeah, we've seen a couple big plays from Johnson, one right here, and you talked about him a little bit earlier. What did he do so well in this football game?
Well, one presents you big size and athleticism. He's been their go-to receiver for a couple years now, and they do a good job lining him up in some different spots, moving him around, finding different ways to create some matchups and get him the football, and I thought they did a nice job of that Saturday.
Yeah, and here's a big turnover by the Bees down in the red zone. Did you think that was a big play in this game for you guys?
Oh, absolutely. They've got momentum. They're driving right now, and to be able to tear the ball out there, Connor Dirt's ripping the ball away. I thought it was a huge play. It's something our defense takes a lot of pride in. You see them do it every day in practice, tearing at the football and trying to get the ball out. It's something that Coach Phillip and the staff preach, and our guys do a great job of not just tackling anymore, but tackling with the intent to get the football out.
Yeah, and it really has to help you as a coach, knowing you have such an opportunistic defense, getting you turnovers, especially in the red zone.
Yeah, we've done a really good job of creating turnovers throughout the year. We get one there in the red zone is huge because, again, it stops the drive, obviously, and holds them out of the end zone, those type of things. And so we've done a really good job throughout the season creating turnovers. It's something that, again, we take a lot of pride in. Trying to do a good job on offense protecting the turnover. I feel like if we win the turnover battle and turnover margin, usually have a chance to win the football game, and so that's always something we try and strive for.
And looking ahead here to end of the second quarter, we saw John Beckendorf come in this game and finish the second half. Is that something that we can expect the rest of the way, or is that just for this last half of this game?
Well, I tell you what, we, like I said earlier, Tom had been hit a few times and would struggle at times to protect Tom, and we felt like John's athleticism, ability to move around a little bit was something that he'd be able to bring to the table. Sometimes kind of that broken play ability because of the athleticism. So we made the switch late in the first half to bring John. And I thought John did a great job. I thought he played very well. Ran the offense, was able to again make some plays with his feet at time, extend plays, and be able to find receivers off the run. So it's something that we'll look to continue to do as we move forward. Play John some and give him more opportunities.
And a couple plays ago, we saw a fourth down conversion by Ray Boye. What's it been like having him back in the backfield again? Yeah,
Ray's a great football player. He's not you see him right here on the cut block on the edge. He's not a big guy, but boy, he plays with a big heart, and he's all business, all effort. We certainly. Talk about some of the injuries at the running back position earlier with Knowledge out, and Cade Gorsney are top two rushers on the year. It makes Ray all that more important for us.
Yeah, and we see a big special teams play here by the Bees. Special teams have been fantastic all year long, Gillen and Hunsicker. Is this consistency just become expected from that side of the ball?
Well, it really has. We knew that Jackson, certainly had the ability. He showed flashes of it a year ago, and unfortunately, inconsistent was probably his biggest, concern a year ago. I think we've worked extremely hard in the off season and came in this fall camp, and from day one has really punted the ball extremely well, and you see it each and every week in games. And I thought our coverage unit did a great job. They got a very dangerous return guy, and I thought we did an awesome job, covering it there and getting him tackled, deep in their own end. Unfortunately for us, they go on kind of a long drive here. We do hold them to a fourth down. And then they end up faking a punt and rushing for a first down, which continued the drive. And so this was obviously a pretty pivotal stretch in the football game right here.
Yeah, and that drive, obviously you talked about how it was extended by that fake punt. That's just kind of frustrating to see that was the type of play that extended a drive after you realistically got them to fourth down off the field.
Yeah, we got to stop. It was fourth and probably about 6 or 7, and they're forced to punt. And it's the one time all day we came after the punt, a chance to pressure it or rush it, and they ran a fake. I give them a ton of credit. I thought St. Francis played an outstanding football game on both sides. You saw the fake punts. They go in front fourth down. I think there were 4 or 5 on fourth down in the day. I think they outcoached us. I think they outplayed us. Give them a lot of credit.
And Yemi Ward was a player that started off very hot for the Bees, but he's slowed down a little bit recently. Is the defense just adjusting to him, or is it just kind of the offense not able to get him the football quite as much?
Well, probably a combination of the two. Obviously he's a talented young man, and he's had some big games for us. We got to make the most of the opportunities that we have to get him the football and those type of things. But I think defenses certainly know where he's at and where he lines up, and I'm sure they're looking at doing things to make it difficult to get him the football.
And now looking at your defense a little bit here, you had 5 different players get a tackle for a loss in this game. Is that a goal for the team to hit a certain amount of tackles for a loss per game?
Well, I know defensively we set a number of different goals, kind of both going into the season and then kind of as the season goes, you prepare for different opponents, and obviously getting TFLs or tackles for loss, like you mentioned, are always a goal, along with sacks and those type of things, because they do impact the football game in a big way. Anytime you get a tackle for loss, you're kind of moving the offense behind the sticks, as we call it, in terms of putting them in longer yardage situations, getting them out of the rhythm they want to be in. So certainly that's a big goal.
You guys had several younger running backs step up this week, scoring touchdowns. What did you think of their emergence and the end of this game?
Well, I thought we got a number of different guys in, as the game wore on, and was real proud of the guys, the way they competed and played. Here you see Mark Skogna on a nice screen pass here, ended up taking it for a touchdown. You saw Caden King earlier, he ended up rushing for a touchdown, had some nice runs for us. I think it shows the kind of some of the depth that we have, at the running back position. Unfortunately, we're seeing some of that come into play with some of the injuries we have at the running back position. But it's nice to get those younger guys some work, being sophomores and freshmen and those type of things. And obviously we'll look to rely on those guys as we move forward as well.
And what were some positives from this game that you're hoping to take into next week with you guys?
Well, that's a tough one. Obviously we didn't feel like we played very well in really any area. Felt like I said earlier, felt like we're out-coached, outplayed. And that was that made it frustrating. In this league, if you don't play your best, you're gonna have a tough day. And I think we had a matchup where we had St. Francis play a really good game against us that we weren't at our best, and I think you kind of saw what happened as a result.
Yeah, and now looking at it, what are some things that you want to improve on going into this week after this past game?
Yeah, obviously, both sides of the ball. We felt like we were controlled up at the line of scrimmage a little bit, and that's not typically the case for us on either side. And we felt like St. Francis, really did that to us, and that's something we've talked about and addressed, and looking to. It just didn't seem like Ambrose football a week ago, and we're looking to get back to that.
Coach, thank you for being here. We'll hear from you again soon. Up next, we hear from Drew Ackman. Don't go anywhere.
I came to Ambrose because it felt like home. I had looked at several other colleges before I found Ambrose, and I was a transfer student. But once I found Ambrose, everything about it felt right, and that really sealed the deal for me.
Hey, did you hear about that new club on campus?
Yeah, I went to the first meeting last night. It was awesome.
Wait, what new club? I didn't hear anything.
We saw it on Dateline SAU. You should check it out.
What are you two watching over there?
Oh, nothing. Just this amazing play from the football game last weekend.
Can you believe that catch? That was amazing.
I didn't see anything. Where did you see it?
I told you this already. We saw it on Dateline SAU.
Wait, I thought it was just campus news.
No, it's the best of both worlds.
Dateline SAU is your source for campus news and sports. Watch our newscast every Friday on our Facebook page, or watch it on TV on Mondays by tuning in to SAUtv, Mediacom Channel 81. Don't forget, if it's campus news, you can see it on Dateline SAU.
All right, you convinced me. I'll take a look later today.
Good. Now let's go to class.
We're more than a radio station. We're your neighbors, investing time in our community. We're mentors, guiding the next generation of broadcasters. We're supporters of veterans, partners with social service agencies, and investigators of history. We're dedicated sports fans. We're committed to the stories that make the Quad Cities unique. We are KALA Radio, 88.5 FM, 106.1 FM. Turn it on, turn it up.
Welcome back to the Coach Mike Magistrelli Show. With me now is Drew Ackman. Drew, thanks for being here today.
Thank you.
So first question I have for you, can you kind of explain how you started playing football?
Yeah, I probably started my second grade. My dad played football and wanted to get me into it, so I started playing tackle in about second grade. Then I got really into it probably as 7th or 8th grader.
And is football the only sports you played growing up, or was there a couple other ones?
No, I actually played baseball and basketball as well going through high school, and also debated it playing in college as well.
And now looking at your football career here, what's kind of your favorite moment that you've had?
Honestly, probably 2 weeks ago when we beat Olivet, that was a special feeling for sure.
That was a really impressive win for you guys. And now looking at St. Ambrose in general, what kind of drew you to the university?
Well, I loved the campus feel here as soon as I came, and as well as like the guys in the locker room. You can't beat them, and the coaches are great. And I also love the classroom sizes. It's a lot easier for me to learn in a smaller classroom environment. So.
And speaking of that coaching staff, how would you describe your time under Coach Magistrelli and his coaching staff?
I've loved my time here personally. I can't wait to finish it out next year.
And last season, you guys had to play a spring season. What's it like now getting back into the fall a little bit?
It's definitely a lot different than playing in 20 degrees and freezing your butt off, but I much prefer the fall for sure. And the turnaround is a little difficult, but getting back in the swing of things, it's a lot more normalcy.
And now looking at your last matchup you guys had, how do you feel the team played in that game?
I think we just didn't really show up ready to play. I think they surprised us a little bit, caught us off our feet, but I think we'll be ready to go this week.
And what's the feeling around this team now heading into this week?
Well, obviously we only got 3 weeks left, so I think we're all pretty focused in on finishing these 3 weeks out strong and for each other, and most importantly for those seniors. So.
And looking at this Bees team, you said 3 weeks left here. What can we expect from this team the rest of the way?
You can expect a team that's not going to say never, not going to quit, and they're going to keep grinding it out. And whatever happens at the end of the 3 weeks happens, and we'll be happy with how the outcome goes.
My last question I have here for you: is there any goals that you have set for yourself during these last 3 weeks of the year?
Get 3 wins. That's pretty much all the goals I got in mind.
Drew, thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
Up next, we'll hear from Coach Magistrelli to preview this weekend's game. Don't go anywhere.
Actually, my first job out of college, second job after Montgomery Ward, was recruiting for St. Ambrose in Chicago. So I became really immersed back into school after I graduated, and it never stopped. And I lived here for 7 years after, and I don't know, and it's amazing how big it's gotten. I just can't believe, I gotta laugh, there was community dorms when we were here, and all of a sudden it's like hotel, Ritz-Carlton. I mean, it's beautiful. So I'm proud of what I see, happy to give back.
Welcome back to the Coach Mike Magistrelli Show. With me again is Coach Magistrelli. And Coach, looking at this Roosevelt team this weekend, what are some keys going into this game?
Well, they're an outstanding football team, very physical football team. They like to run the ball on offense. They've got a couple tailbacks that are really explosive, big play guys. They're very big up front and obviously do a good job in the run game, and then obviously feeding off that is their play action pass. They got an outstanding quarterback that does a great job with that play action. They got a couple big targets at wide receiver, so very dangerous offensively, and then defensively very similar in terms of their physicality. They kind of base out of a 4-3 look, and some very good personnel really across the board.
Yeah, and this Lakers team, half their losses are COVID forfeit games. Is this team a lot better than their record indicates?
Oh, certainly. Like you mentioned, they've had to they have 2 losses due to forfeit early in the year due to COVID. Their only loss going into a week ago that actually occurred on the football field was against the number 5 team, Concordia, Michigan. We played early in the year as well. They got beat by 2 points, 16-14, if I'm not mistaken. And then last week was upset or beat by Judson. So there's certainly a very, very good football team.
And who are some players that the Bees fans should be looking out for this week?
Yeah, again, I start with their tailbacks. Like I said, they have a combination of a couple of them. Johnson is number 6. He's their starter, but they've got a good backup too that comes in and runs the ball extremely hard. Not great big running backs, but they certainly are elusive and explosive, and they do a good job of obviously getting them the football in the run game, but also finding ways to throw the football to them.
And now looking at this Bees offense, what can we expect from that side of the ball?
Well, getting back to some physicality. We felt like a week ago we really, we're not as physical a football team as we needed to be, especially on offense, whether that be at the line of scrimmage with the linemen or our receivers in terms of blocking and those type of things. We just got to get back to playing aggressive and physical football.
And now defensively, what are some keys for you guys?
Yeah, slowing down the running game. I felt like we're very familiar with Roosevelt. We played them twice in the spring, and the second time I felt like we did a much better job, controlling the run game until, unfortunately for us, late in the football game, they were able to break off a couple long runs. But again, it all kind of starts at that line of scrimmage and controlling that and pursuing the football well, and then obviously being able to tackle.
Coach, thank you for being here today. That concludes the Coach Mike Magistrelli Show. Thank you for watching.